Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. Today in this tutorial, we are going to know about Inkscape layers in our Inkscape tutorial for beginners. Stay tuned. Now in the second case, all we are going to do, we are going to this fill option and we'll be using this gradient, and we will be adjusting this gradient color position right over here. So all I'm going to do, I am going to put the first color stop or the visible color stop on top of the rectangular box, and the invisible color stop, it should be residing at the bottom of this individual rectangle. Now let's head back to this layer 1 element right over here and let's name it as sky. So we can see that we are practically able to change the layer name, as we can see right over here, and we have renamed this default layer as sky. Now in the next case, all we are going to do, first of all, let's lock this layer, and if we try to select it right now, we can see that we are practically unable to select the sky layer right over here. But if we draw something on this elements layer like this one, as we have drawn, we can see that the elements layer is now practically able to fit anything into it. So first of all, let's delete it, and for say we are now creating a star here. So we have practically drawn a star or a polygon shape into this second layer elements. Change this star color here. First of all, just disable this snapping option right over here, and we are pressing this shift control and then we are dragging it down to maintain the aspect ratio of this polygon. Okay, now the star is been drawn on top of this elements layer. So this is the second layer right over here. Now if we press Ctrl D and if we make it something like this one, do it again, shift control, make it a little bit larger. For say we have selected all of them, let's press this Ctrl G and we can see that we have practically grouped all these three stars into this elements layer. Now if we turn this visibility off, we can see that only the stars are gone, and if we turn off this icon right over here for this sky layer, then we can see that the sky layer is practically gone too. So this is what we can say, that we are now working with two different layers here. The first layer, it is known as sky, and we have practically locked them such that no further modification is possible into this layer. And in the second case, this is the elements layer that we have created, and we have created three stars right over here. So up to this far it is all right. Now let's lock this elements layer, and if we add another layer here, for say we are creating another layer and we are naming it as ground, and the position will be above the current layer. That means this elements layer, we are practically residing on this elements layer, so it will be regarded as the current layer right now. So if we now add the layer, we can see that a ground layer has been created, and in this ground layer all we can do, we can create another rectangle box here, and we will be putting some different color to it. And in an order to change the stroke color, I need to press and hold down this shift key, and I need to click on the same color on this color palette to change the stroke color. So there are three separate parts right over here currently. The first one is this background or this sky layer right over here. It is at the bottom of the rest of these layers. The second one is the elements layer, which is this one, the stars, and the third one is the ground layer. have a check on it. First of all, I'm turning off the sky layer, and we can see that the sky layer is turned off. I'm turning off this elements layer, and I can see that the stars are disappeared. In the third case, I am turning off this ground, and I can see that the ground layer is right now disappeared. So we have practically created three distinguishing layers right over here. If we want to make some further amendment, for say I'm just trying to make it a little bit blurred, all those stars, those should be a little bit of blurred. This is a kind of modification into it. So all I can do, I have to unlock this elements layer, and I will be selecting it, and I'll be using this blur option. So we can see that these stars are practically getting blurred, but the rest of these layers and all of those individual elements present into it, those are having unaffected, those are practically remaining untouched. So this is how we can practically work on different layers. And I'm pressing this Ctrl Z, so I'm just undoing the blur action that I already did previously. If we wish to change this layer position, like if we wish that the elements layer, it will be getting below this sky layer, have a look what happens if we select this elements layer, and if we lower the current layer to the bottom, we can see that the current layer elements, that means all those stars, those are practically below the sky layer here, and this is the ground layer. So if we now wish to send this sky layer on top of the rest of the layers, then all we can do, we can just press this button, and we can see that the sky layer is right now above all of the rest of the layered elements present into our document. So this is how we may create layers, and this is how we may adjust our modifications. We may draw something special onto some definite or specific layers, and we are able to make usage of them. And in case if we wish to make some certain order into it, then we may select that definite layer here, and we may switch it on or off, or we may switch it on the top of these layers, or at the bottom of these layers. So this is how you may use layer properties into your document. It is a very useful feature in many cases, in many aspects, for complex pattern of drawing, where you need to create some definite parts. For say if we are creating a definite human figure, then we need to color the hair, the eyes, the eyebrow, the nose, the body color overall. So all those parts can be segregated, and those parts can be put into different layers to prevent some unwanted modifications into that individual human figure that we are drawing into Inkscape. If you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys in our next tutorial. Till then, bye.